Hey folks, welcome to my October 2024 Dewey's 24-hour readathon vlog. It's about less than 10 minutes before, so 8 minutes before the readathon starts, which the start time for me in Canberra is 11 p.m. So it is getting late. I am getting tired because I have been trying to go to bed a little bit earlier recently. Although to me a little bit earlier is still after midnight, so who knows. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to cut myself a piece of chocolate mud cake decorated with whipped cream and strawberries that I bought this afternoon because reasons, readathon reasons. And then I am going to start with Mislaid in Parts Half Known by Shauna Maguire, which is the latest novella in the Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children series. So that's where I'm going to start. I don't know whether I'll get all the way through it tonight. It's a novella, so it's not particularly long. It's 146 pages. But I am quite tired. So essentially I'm going to read until I want to go to bed. And I'll probably set an alarm for tomorrow morning. I need to check my timings, but qualifying for the Mexican GP is tomorrow morning. So at the very latest, I'll set my alarm for just before qualifying. So probably somewhere around 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I can read while watching qualifying. So that's the plan. I will check in again in the morning, probably not straight away because pajamas, but yeah. Good morning. It's just gone 11 o'clock. I got up when my alarm went off just before 8 for F1 qualifying. And I did read a bit during qualifying. I've been reading a bit this morning, so I've been a little bit distracted, but there's been reading going on, so that's good. So before I went to sleep last night, I actually read the entirety of Mislaid in Parts Half Known by Shauna Maguire. This was another quest, sort of quest story in her Wayward Children series. It's more of a we're trying to escape something, and so we've actually accidentally gone through a door, and now we're kind of lost, but finding our way home again. But yeah, so it was good. I very, very much enjoyed it. And then this morning I have picked up Closed Casket by Sophie Hannah. I was already 110 pages in. I am now 193 pages in, so I've read 83 pages, which is great. In between, you know, showering and watching qualifying and then poking around on the internet a little bit. I do need to eat something, so I should do that soon. It's brunch more than breakfast, really. And I should probably actually brush my hair. The braid's getting very messy. But yeah, so my plan for the moment is to keep reading Closed Casket, eat something, and I will probably put some hockey on at some stage. The Penguins game is against Vancouver, I want to say, is on at 1 o'clock. So I might put that on, although it will probably be depressing. The last few games have been depressing. Yeah, but anyway, reading, it is happening. So that's good. Hey, quick update between hockey games. Bruins just beat Leafs in overtime. Penguins versus Canucks is about to start. Yes, this is my background noise. I'm not paying huge amounts of attention, but there's a lot of hockey on today and I do like some background noise. But yes, I am still reading Closed Casket. I am enjoying it. I am 260 pages in. So getting there, about 2/3 of the way through probably. So there's been a murder, obviously. There's been a twist that I didn't see coming because I never see this stuff coming. I still have no idea who the murderer is. Honestly, like, I've got wild theories, but they're just like whimsical, like, oh, maybe, no, maybe. But yeah, no, still no idea who the murderer is. But yeah, still reading this. I'm going to continue reading this. Yeah, I'm not reading hugely intensely, but I am reading, so that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. What I read after this, not sure. I'm leaning towards short stories, but we'll see. I've still got, a good chunk. Hang on, how many pages? Over 100 pages to go. So about 130 pages to go. So, yeah, that's where I'm up to at the moment. I've eaten. I'm about to have myself some nice fresh grapes while I continue reading this while the Penguins play the Canucks. Well, it's 5 o'clock. The Penguins lost to Vancouver, and I've been reading. So there's 6 hours left until, I believe, the end of the readathon. It finishes at 11. So I did indeed finish Closed Casket by Sophie Hannah. It was good. It was a mystery. I didn't see what was coming. I didn't figure it out because I never do. It did feel quite Poirot-y. Particularly, it was sort of, set in an old country house with things two differing stories that should be impossible, evidence that should be impossible, and figuring it all out, and psychology. So there was that. I finished that. Since then, I have been reading short stories from The Art of Being Human, which, oddly enough, the ones that I've read today, and I've read a few today, like 4 or 5 of them, I think. I can't remember it entirely off the top of my head because I haven't counted, but I'm nearly halfway through. Oddly enough, given that the anthology itself was supposed to be about the beauty and importance of art to humanity, inspired by the COVID pandemic, where a lot of arts funding was cut. Arts was like the first thing that sort of fell apart. Because no one was going anywhere. And it wasn't seen as important as healthcare and security and all that kind of stuff. I like to kind of think we've proved that wrong since the pandemic, given what I've seen, the popularity of particularly live music and theatre. Those experiences seem to be really, really well attended. Although when I say live music, it's more big concerts, not festivals, because they are falling apart. Anyway, I digress. But a lot of these stories are actually quite dark, I'm finding. A lot of death, a lot of post-apocalyptic. You know that they're being quite dark when probably the most positive, hopeful one that I've read today was by Karen Warren. And Karen's a horror writer who doesn't very often write hopeful and positive things. So, but yeah, so I'm continuing to read through these. I would like to try and finish this anthology. That would be great. But I'm also probably going to start switching it up with some audio, mostly just to give my eyes a break and to do some gaming and stitching, some stuff with my hands. So I'll probably, I think, go with Hockey Rants and Raves, which is Steve Dangoglin's newest book, because I've got both of his going on at the moment. I don't think I'm in the right headspace for Hannah Gadsby, because I don't think I'm quite through the worst part of it. I've been told that once I get through this part of the book that it will be funnier and less traumatic, but I've got to get through the trauma stuff first, unfortunately. But yeah, so short stories and audiobooks is, I think, on my list for the next few hours. Hey, so it's getting close to 8:30, which means there's about 2.5 hours left of Readathon. I'm continuing to read The Art of Being Human. I've got about 154 pages to go. I'm not sure how many stories that is. So I'm hoping I can get it finished, or at least very close to get finished. Yeah, I'm just sort of flicking through. just read Seeding Trouble by Kirsten McDermott. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stories left. So we'll see how we go. I have also listened to a couple more chapters of Hockey Rants and Raves by Steve Dangle Glynn, which is about an hour and a half, a bit more. Mostly while either playing games or I just did dishes. I'll probably listen to a bit more in a minute because I'm going to make myself some dinner. I haven't quite decided yet what I want. I'm leaning towards mac and cheese. But yeah, so basically I think I'm going to keep switching between the short stories and yeah, Hockey Rants and Raves. So that's the plan for the last 2.5 hours. Well, that is another Dewey's 24-hour readathon over. I'm tired, always tired at the end, but feeling fairly relaxed, and I'm quite happy with what I got done. So, in my last 2.5 hours, I finished just The Art of Being Human, like literally 12 minutes before the end of the readathon. So that is a hell of a lot of short stories, and I had only read a few, like 110 pages out of the 400 and something. So that got finished, and I listened to some more of Hockey Rants and Raves. So what was my total reading for the readathon? I read the entirety of Miss Slade in Parts Half Known by Shauna Maguire, which is a novella. So that's been sitting on my TBR the last couple of months, and I'm really wanting to read it and just not getting around to it. So really pleased to finish that. I then finished Closed Casket by Sophie Hannah, which I was probably less than a third of the way through. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head, but yeah, or around a third of the way through, I think I was. So I finished reading that novel, which was enjoyable. And I finished, of course, The Art of Being Human, which again, I was probably less than a third of the way through. And that's a whole bunch of short stories on the theme of how the value and worth of art to the human race, or to humanity. So that was great. Lots of very interesting things as usual with anthologies. Some stuff clicks, some stuff doesn't. They got a bit more, some of the stories got a bit more positive. So yeah, that was done, and I read probably around 2 hours and 20 minutes or so, or 2.5 hours of the audiobook of Hockey Rants and Raves by Steve Dangle Glynn. So that is 3 things completed, 2 things that were on my currently reading pile and 1 that was on my TBR, and a decent chunk of audiobook got them through. So given that I was also paying attention to hockey and Formula 1 during that time, that's pretty damn good. I'm quite pleased with myself, and it means I didn't start either of those books, but pretty much, apart from my current ebook, which is Pride and Prejudice, and my audiobooks, my currently reading pile is opened up a bit. So I need to think about what I want to read next. But in the meantime, that was Dewey's 24-hour readathon for October 2024. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you want to talk about any of the books that I read down in the comments, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye.